Hey guys, Phantom139 here, and welcome to today's video, a Destiny video. And you know what time it is. The dungeon has been out for a while, and your boy has done it again. Except for the new dungeon. Yeah, that's right. It's time for another solo flawless dungeon video. And I'm going to go over all the steps on how I did it. So if you want to try to replicate it for yourself, you can follow along. Let's get into it. Before we get started, I do want to share my complete loadout options and what I use to complete the dungeon here if you're looking to, again, duplicate my setup. For the entire dungeon run, I was playing on my Warlock. I used two subclasses. I used the Well of Radiance and the bottom tree Voidwalker, which is known as the Devour tree. For weapons, for the kinetic slot, I had Mountaintop on the entire time. If you don't have this, you can substitute any good slug shotgun. For the energy weapon, I had Trinity Ghoul, and it is important to get and complete the catalyst for this weapon. And I also used Recluse for a few sections as well. If you don't have Recluse, a good Void hand cannon will be a substitute. For the heavy slot, this is important. You do want Falling Guillotine. That is the new Season of Arrival's sword. You will also need Anarchy to complete the strategy that I am doing here. For the Falling Guillotine, the role is Jagged Edge, Swordmaster Guard, Relentless Strikes, and Whirlwind Blade, so try to get this role if possible. On the armor side of things, I had two helmets that I used for the run. The first was a Season 11 helmet with Concussive Dampener, two enhanced scatter targeting mods, and the Supercharged mod from Season of Arrivals. I also had a Nezrak's Sin exotic helmet with the Concussive Dampener, Heavy Ammo Finder, and Grenade Launcher Ammo Finder mods equipped. For the arms, I had a Last Wish arms. It had Major Resist, two enhanced bow loader mods, and Taken Barrier, a mod you can also get from the Last Wish raid. For the chest, I had two armor pieces that I used. The first was a Season 8 chest piece. It had Boss Resist, two Grenade Launcher Reserves mod, and the Protective Light mod from Season of Dawn. I also had a Season 11 chest piece with Major Resist, Bow Reserves, Sword Reserves, and the new Lucent Blade mod from Season of Arrivals. The boot slot is a wild card, and by this I mean you can use whatever you prefer here. And finally, for the class item, it was a Season 11 class item with Concussive Dampener, Oppressive Darkness, and the Taken Charge armor mod.
A warlock and a dredgen ask a question.
What is the nature of the dark?
Our answer awaits you. You ask a question of pure potential.
Before you get to the first encounter, you have the introduction room of the dungeon. This is really a good pre-dungeon check to make sure you're going to be in top shape for the run. Just make sure you completely kill the knights, get your moats, and dunk them in the correct slots. If you are struggling with this, I can tell you now you're probably not ready for the complete run, and you'll need to re-spec your armor or collect more mods that can assist you with the run.
Increase your survivability that I presented by also collecting the Hive Barrier mod from Ivory Sorrow. That actually does stack with Taken Barrier on Taken Knights, which, as you can see, are the majority of the important enemies in the dungeon are Taken Knights. That's a very easy advantage you can give yourself if you have that mod. I would use the leg armor. As I said, that's my wildcard piece. Don't use it for anything else. Out of here. attack comes back rather quickly. It's actually from the Lucent Blade buff. That is the reason it's very important. As you saw earlier,
The first encounter of the dungeon is the Phalanx Echo boss fight. This is really, in my personal opinion, the hardest part of the solo flawless run, and it's kind of a blessing that it happens right at the beginning of the dungeon this time around. What you're really going to be focusing on here is three things at once. First and foremost, you're going to have to deal with the flow of ads. So ad control is going to be your primary focus here. Whenever there are scions up, they need to be your key target. The second focus will be the knights. There will be 3 of them to start, and you only need to kill 2 at each time to get the required motes to dunk. And then finally you have to deal with the boss, who can push you off if he gets too close, so make sure you keep away from him. In terms of the strategy, I like to open up this by dropping my well immediately. I do this because I need to collect orbs of light to trigger the armor mod to become charged with light, which is what I'm going to use to have the necessary damage to kill the boss in one phase. After this, what I do is I have the Trinity Ghoul procced with lightning arrows, and I use that to wipe out all of the scions. That's going to be focus number 1. Get them all gone. Then play it like you're playing the Pit of Heresy totem encounter. Keep moving. Remember, as I said in my previous guide video, movement is key to success here, although as a Well of Radiance warlock, you also have access to healing grenades. What you're going to want to do here is quite simply keep moving, kill knights as they're approaching you. If they get too close, you can sword them. Just be wary that you will consume your Lucent Blade if you do so. And dunk those motes. Once you dunk all the motes, you will go into the damage phase, which you need to drop a Well of Radiance on the boss and then start swinging at the boss with your sword. It's very important to note, however, that when you dunk the first and third motes, that a wave of scions will spawn, and whenever the knights are all killed, 3 new knights will spawn in place. Other than that, just focus on staying alive, avoiding the boss, and you'll get this after some practice.
these knights are incredibly aggressive. They will chase you. It can be quite obnoxious. May cost me, so be careful here. I usually don't like to go all in like that, but I'm gonna push here. Knight's gonna chase me. Where I need to kill the knights from is light area here. You don't have to rush it either. Like, take your time. There is no white mechanic. There is nothing slowing you down here. Just take your time. We're gonna go to DPS here, and what we need to do is I'm going to dump this orb. Drop next to the boss. Well, and then we're just gonna start whacking on him. So the thing about using a warlock with a Well of Radiance. Two things. First and foremost, your super damage is applied to your sword. So that means if he's holding up the shield, it'll go through it, and now that you saw those goblins, the other thing is super damage will cut you down. This is an easier on a solo flawless run.
The second encounter of the dungeon is the Wasteland, and for this setup I stick with my solar class. I switch my energy weapon to Recluse, and I put Anarchy on my power weapon slot. I do not make any changes to my armor from the first encounter. The flow of this area is very straightforward. Find the blights, kill the blights, while avoiding minotaurs. I usually don't get on my Sparrow here unless I know that there's no minotaurs in my way, as they can end your run very quickly otherwise. A good piece of advice is, as you're approaching the blights, use your mountaintop to take down the hobgoblins, and then use Recluse to gun down the wave of thrall that are approaching you. To take down the blights, step inside, put one anarchy shot on the blight, and step out. The blight will be dead in a few seconds after anarchy finishes it off. Repeat this a total of 9 blights, and then you're good to go to the next encounter.
Step in, stick the blight, step out. Speaking of, there's that Minotaur. You can kill the Minotaurs. You're not constrained by them. If they are bugging you too much, get rid of them.
For the Hexahedron encounter, which is the third encounter, I switched to my Void subclass. I put back on Trinity Ghoul and Falling Guillotine, and then I switched my armor to have the Nezarec Sin helmet. This is important to get your Void grenades back. The flow of the encounter is add control, add control, add control. And if I can't beat that into your head enough, then sorry, not much sure I can tell you anything else. As soon as you start the encounter, the Tolan orb will go to one of the sides, determine if it's light or dark, and then deal with the acolytes that spawn immediately. This is where Trinity Ghoul is going to be really helpful. Dungeon enemies like to use their abilities, and this means you'll have a lot of acolyte eyes. One well-placed Trinity Ghoul arrow can wipe out the entire crowd. Once this is down, I turn my focus to snipers. Snipers is my second highest priority. Whenever there's a sniper alive, I'm focusing on the sniper. When you kill a sniper, a knight spawns. The knights are the third on my priority list. Make sure you kill them in the correct light or dark positioning to get your motes. It's important to note that I personally like to kill the sniper as soon as it respawns. 2 knights is much easier to deal with than multiple snipers shooting at you. Once you do this enough times, you'll get to the final part of the encounter, which is the 2 mini-bosses. Just throw an Oppressive Darkness grenade on them and then take them out however you see fit, and you're on to the next encounter.
Alright, I'm gonna grab one of these motes, and then I have to kill these acolytes. Drop my Devour here. Those are clear. I can pick up a mote. Best rule of thumb is to just sit in a safe corner once you pop the mote and then find a safe spot. You can run in and out to avoid getting pulled up the lift, also to save you a little time and not getting sniped. There's light. Also, a little known tip, you can also pop a moat above the light beam, and it'll also work. So, if you're in a hurry, you can do that and save yourself a little bit of time. Of course. I always hate this room when it does that. RNG could be a very cruel mistress to use, especially if you have to do the top 3 times, which is times. I'm just gonna pick the simplest here. For me, it's gonna be light. I need heal. There we go. So if you had not had taken barrier, in that case, I would have been. Just to show you how important that bot is. Oh, that's awkward. Okay. Yeah, rule of thumb, if at all possible, grab that that's coming up. Thank you. That should be lesser.
Before you get to the final boss, you have to traverse Rainbow Road. It's actually called the Dead Sea area, but, you know, it's Rainbow Road. Usually, people would like to sparrow through this, just get it done and over with. On a solo flawless run, however, I'm going to tell you right now, don't bother doing that. Take the long way. It's a much safer route down. You'll have to kill some enemies along the way, but you lose the risk of screwing up your sparrow and falling off and raging at your monitor and or television screen as your flawless run comes to an end. Just take your time, get through it, and get into the lift once the ads are clear, and then you will be ready for the final encounter.
And we'll start it.
The final boss of the dungeon is the Kell Echo, and for this encounter I switched to Void subclass. I put on Recluse and Anarchy along with my Season 8 chess piece that I mentioned at the beginning of the video. The flow of this encounter is going to be chaos at the first inch of it. You're going to be slammed with ads as soon as this encounter starts. You need to be ready for that. As a Devourer Warlock, you have a lot of survivability tools at your disposal. Use them. Now, at the start, you need to determine what moats are going to be needed. Most of the time, for the first room, it's always going to be a combination of light and dark. What I like to do is, as soon as that encounter starts, if I can't quickly kill a Scion and get my Devour buff procced, I will throw my Nova Bomb right away. You want to take control of the room as quickly as possible. Find a knight and Nova Bomb that knight. If you miss your Nova Bomb, you need to consume your grenade immediately to get the Devour buff, or shoot a Scion to weaken it, and then punch it with your melee to get Devour. Once you have Devour, you can survive a lot longer and shoot your Recluse to get your Devourer back. Also, since you're going to be using Nezarec Sin here, when you get a kill with Recluse, you will proc Abyssal Extraction, which will allow you to get your Void Grenade back even quicker. You can see the loop here. By doing so, you'll be able to have access to Devour nearly all the time. What you're going to want to do is quickly kill the first knight, get his motes, and then kill the other knight in the same color to get a full mote, and dunk it at one of the sides. It doesn't matter which side you do, just dunk it. As soon as you do this, an ogre will spawn. If you have your Void Grenade ready, throw the Void Grenade at the ground and stick it with 2 Anarchy shots. If your Void Grenade is not ready, stick it with 2 Anarchy shots, switch to Mountaintop, and shoot it once with Mountaintop. The ogre will die, and then you can use that area for safety. You're going to do this 3 times until you have all of the Pillars of Light, or Dark, dunked, and then you're going to follow the boss into the middle. Make sure you have enough ammo for the boss, as well as your super ready when you go into the boss room. For damage, what you should do immediately is throw a Void Grenade at the boss to proc Oppressive Darkness, throw your Nova Bomb, stick him with 2 Anarchy shots, and then Mountaintop him once, and then jump onto the next platform. Wait for the 2 Hobgoblins to spawn, then use your Recluse to kill the Hobgoblins to proc Abyssal Extraction. This will get your grenade back again. Turn around after the 2 Hobgoblins are dead, Anarchy him twice more, and Mountaintop him. He will teleport to the next platform very shortly afterwards. What you're going to do is you're going to follow the boss and repeat the same cycle. 2 Anarchy shots, 1 Mountaintop, pull out your recluse and shoot the hobgoblins. If the hobgoblins are too far away, just hit them with a single mountaintop shot to kill them. You should get your grenade back 2 times 3 if you're lucky. Use it as soon as you get it to proc Oppressive Darkness to get even more damage. If you do it properly, you should get about 40 to 45% damage each time, and you will be able to 3-phase this boss. You do need to be careful, however, because there are a couple of rooms that can really mess with you, and you'll see an example here. If you get the room with the pyramid-shaped hole in the middle, just get ready to be swarmed by scions that just don't stop spawning. In this case, you're going to want to make sure you take down one of those sides as quickly as possible. You're going to need that safe space. The only benefit of this room is you can have nearly full uptime of Devour without needing to consume your grenade again. And by doing so, you can save your grenade charge for more important targets. Another useful tip is with Anarchy, you can stick a knight and then step into whatever area you need, light or dark, and wait for the knight to die from Anarchy. This will make sure you get the correct color modes that you need each time. Hopefully, it should take you 3 phases to kill the boss, and if you do it successfully, then congratulations and enjoy your new emblem. I hope this video helps and enjoy the rest of this gameplay.
And mountaintop. Forward. There are no 2 snipers up in the front. They will be a major threat if I don't deal with them. So just drop down there. Oh, lost him. Alright, 2 hits like that and I'm dead, so I need to be very careful. Oh, that's important. I would have liked to save one of them so I could have gotten another Anarchy. Okay. And sure enough, we got the not fun room. And they're all lights. That's unfortunate. Okay, so this room sucks. I'm just gonna say that right now. This room sucks. The reason this room sucks is because not only is the light a very small area, but these scions spawn really, really fast. I mean, really fast. You kill them, they're back immediately. So you have no breathing time. Okay. Stay in the light here. I'm going to burn my nose bomb here. Alright, I did not die. Alright, we are in danger once again. The ogre is still alive. Now I'm being pushed by scions. I'm going to wait for my grenade to come back. You can forego a damage phase for a bit, but yeah, so just keep spawning. So if you need more ammo, you can do that. I am ready. I have enough Anarchy ammo, so... forget, as a Devour lock, use Punch to kill an Ed. It will proc your Devour as well. That's... Oh, I got... Going. Ah, you love to see it. 2 light, 1 dark. Scions can be very finicky. They will run from you. Say if they're trying to go in with a punch. Alright, claim this one here. That's a prime inverter. Putting the light on first. Perfect. Alright, and we are ready to go immediately, so I'm just gonna dunk and go straight to the middle. Now, you may remember I said, oh, I need full anarchy before I go. Usually yes, but look at his health, and I should tell you enough. Now, even though you're close, don't break your methodology here. Just do the same thing. It's very important that you stick to it. Especially when you're this close. Snipers are enemy number 1